Now I'd like to welcome to the programme Róisín Lonergan, who's Artistic Director with the Five Lamps Arts Festival. So thanks for coming on the programme, Róisín.
No problem. Delighted to.
So this is the 18th year of the Five Lamps Festival.
Yes, it is.
So where did the name come from?
Well, I was teaching on the North Strand, just beside the Five Lamps. And it's actually a coming together of a few different areas. You know, you've got the North Strand, the Sheriff Street area, the Sean McDermott Street area, Amiens Street, and it just comes right there. And it seemed the appropriate name for the area, the inner city festival that we set up.
Right. And would you have a lot of community groups involved in organising it and setting it up and so on, yeah?
There's some community groups, but mostly it's ourselves, and we work with the community groups. So we're working with Swan Youth Services and all the schools in the area and some of the community groups, yes.
So it seems to cover the whole area of the arts, visual art, music, poetry, and so on, yeah?
Exactly, yeah. So the star attraction this year would be a play by Mary Elaine Tynan. It's about the life of Paddy Armstrong, who was incarcerated in British jails for a long time. Now, he was innocent of the crime that he was convicted of in the 70s of the Guildford Ford bombing. And the play is about him and his life and how he is today. Like, he's in his mid-70s now. And that'll be on for 3 days in the Sean O'Casey Theatre in East Wall. Then for music, we have lots of different types of music. For traditional music lovers, we have a great night on the 4th of April where we'll have a mixture of musicians, Seamus Hyland, Liam Lonergan, Aoife McDonald, and Warren McCarthy, and they play a variety of instruments. It'll be emceed by Caoimhe Nick Mulligan, who's a dancer and a fiddle player herself. So that'll be a great night. That's in Annesley House on the 4th of April. Right. Other events we have a fantastic exhibition opening before the festival on the 15th of March. That's in the casino at Marino, which is a beautiful 18th century building. And the artist there is James Hanley, who has painted all kinds of people, particularly Taoiseach and the presidents. So he's exhibiting work there that's based on statues that he has seen in Dublin and abroad, sort of an 18th century look at the Grand Tour and the casino, which was built by Lord Charlemont in the 18th century. Another exhibition we have is in the ILEC Centre. And thank you to Richard Guiney, who directed me to the ILEC Centre to find an exhibition space. And there we're taking over a shop and we're exhibiting work of an artist who is in his mid-80s now, Joe Moran. Right. And Joe told me that he actually exhibited there 42 years ago when it was being built. So it's great to have him back in that location. We're always looking for venues for events.
Right. He's a sculptor, isn't he? Is he Joe
He's
Moran?
a sculptor, yeah. He's got work all over the world, Hungary, Belgium, France. And in Dublin, he has 2 large pieces, one in Ringsend outside the library called Door. And it's about prevention of violence towards women. And then the other one is called Family, and it's in situ in Fairview Park, very near where Joe grew up and where he lives today.
Right, and there's poetry readings as well, isn't there?
Yes, so we have Paula Meehan, who's from the inner city, reading. Paula was the first professor of poetry we had in Ireland for the whole of the country. So Paula is from the inner city. She grew up in Finglas, but her family is from Railway Street. Paula is going to be reading in the James Joyce Centre on the 29th of March, and she'll be joined there by guest poet Theo Dorgan.
Right. And there's a Brazilian musician coming over, isn't there?
There is. LNB is a jazz and modern musician. great singer. She performed for us about 8 years ago. So she lived in Ireland for a number of years, went back to Brazil, and now she's coming over to perform in Windmill Lane Studios.
Right. And there's a poetic tribute to Harry Karnoff. He was a famous artist, wasn't he, in the past? Yeah.
That's right. That's taking place in Charleville Mall Library. So Harry Karnoff, yeah. So it's a great tribute to him, and that'll be a free event. So there's lots of free events in Charleville Mall Library. There's another talk there about the Irish going to Antarctica. So we've a variety of events, and the library are also hosting events for children. We have the Moon and Sixpence Theatre Company doing Red Riding Hood, and we have Kyoll Connected doing a music event for very small children. And then on the 5th of April, we have a Story Slam event that takes the whole day to happen, and that's where storytelling is to the fore, and people are encouraged to come along and have a go.
And there's a couple of events to do with clowning, isn't there?
That's right.
Yeah.
We have a Spanish artist coming over to do a workshop on clowning, and she also has a play called Fragile, which is going to be on the 24th and 25th of March in the Sean O'Casey Theatre. And we also have 2 other workshops in the Gate Theatre that are free, and people can book online on Eventbrite for those workshops. And also in the Gate Theatre, we have 2 readings of plays, one by Michael Harnett, and the other one then is by Colm Querney. Michael Harnett's play is about a possible storm that lands some tropical fish in the Tolka, so it's very topical, very local. And then the other play is by Colm Querney, and we have that in the Gate Theatre for 1 reading, and then another 2 readings are going to be in a charity shop on the North Strand, right beside the Five Lamps. So that's it'll be an interesting take on a venue for a show.
And there's a walking tour, isn't there, as well? Yeah.
We have a few walking tours.
Few of
One
them, yeah.
is in Irish, and that's about the port itself and the ancillary buildings that happened because of the port. And that's by architect Brendan McAvoy. That's in Irish and English. And then we have walking tours with John Seary, talking about people from the 18th century, and particularly the buildings that were developed by Luke Gardner. And then we have another walking tour about just the north side along the quays, the Liffey, the campshires, the north side campshires.
And there's a dance event as well, isn't there?
Yes, we have Favour Asuelo. He is going to do a dance event. There's 2 dance events, but Favour's one is where he'll come to life in places that we're not quite sure of yet. And sort of he'll be blended into the background, and then suddenly he'll start dancing. And then we also have an event just outside the ILEC Centre in Coles Lane, it's called. It's just opposite Arnott's. And there we'll have a great animation of that space right outside the ILEC Centre at Coles Lane. And that's with the Irish Modern Dance Theatre Company.
Right. So it seems to cover the whole, a very wide range of the arts. So the visual arts, storytelling, poetry, dancing, theatre. So it seems to cover everything, basically, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, we're trying to animate the Northeast Inner City. We're very grateful to our sponsors, the NEIC, Dublin City Council, and the Arts Council for helping us to get this together. We have events also down in Dublin Port. Dublin Port are a great supporter of our work, and we have an exhibition down there where 3 artists come together to look at the comings and goings in the port area, the history, the sounds you'd hear. There's one artist who's done a triptych, which you normally see in churches, but it's based on, or it's made on an old tea chest. There's 3 panels painted on. And then that's an artist called Claire Halpin. And she's also the curator for Joe Moran's exhibition. So she's really interested in the Docklands area and the work that has happened around there. So we have a lot of interesting crossovers.
Right. Okay, so do you think you've covered everything basically that you
I think we have, yeah. We would love to see people coming to as many events as possible. Our website is fivelampsarts.ie. Most of our booking is on Eventbrite, but some of them, the free events, you can book directly on the website. And we have plenty of events for people. The last day of the festival is on the 6th of April. And on that day, we have an event for families in Mud Island Garden, which is a community garden at the back of Cloud Cafe on North Strand Road. There we'll have the Community Workers Union Band. We'll have the Fancini Brothers Circus. We'll have the Cicada Circus. And we'll have a great event that goes on for hours with large bricks that children and families can make stuff out of. And we'll also have a market for crafts. So it'll be a really great day. We're just hoping that on the 6th of April there'll be no rain and it'll be nice and pleasant for families to come and enjoy the day there.
Right, so there's basically something for everyone, really, isn't there? Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're delighted to see people from all over Dublin. And, we do usually get a few tourists at each event. So we welcome Southsiders and West Dubliners and anyone from any part of the country to come and see what the Northeast inner city has to offer.
Right, okay. So thanks for coming on to tell us about that. And you have the website that people can find all the details, huh?
Yes, thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Róisín. Bye.
Take care.